You've made Kamala Harris a focus of your work.
Yeah.
You've also made Dr. Jill Biden a focus, but particularly you've been focused on Kamala Harris. I just wanted to ask you, why is that, and tell us a bit about your trip, her trip and your trip to Ghana.
Oh, I had never been to Africa, so it was personal for me. So I've been covering her for 2.5 years now, and kind of watching her in that space, she was much more kind of in her own element, I think, than I'd seen before. She was much more casual. We went to Cape Coast Castle, which, as many of you probably know, is one of the slave ports that was in Ghana. And she was walking around and crying, and something that we hadn't seen from her before.
I mean, she has been made fun of on The Daily Show and a whole bunch of places about that. Did you go out of, maybe not go out of your way, but was part of your process in writing these stories to talk about her in a different way?
So, when you are a Black person covering a Black person, there are certain things that are happening around that person that you can understand that my white colleagues frankly can't understand, right? As much as we talk about and as smart and as well-meaning as they are. So there are certain things that you're able to pick up, but at the same time covering her fairly and just as tough as anybody else who would be in that role. But she was walking around and you could hear her sniffling. And wiping tears and walking around and talking to the docent and her husband. And when she came out to talk to us, they had remarks down, and she didn't look at them at all. And so I asked, I said, they're like, we don't recognize that speech at all. We wrote her something, but that is not what came out of it. And so what it showed was that she was emotionally tied to the space in a way.
Well, is that something we're going to see more of with her in the Biden administration?
I think so. It's possible. She often gets in when she speaks talks, and she and her team would even say this like a lawyer would speak, right? And I think what we saw is that she can speak extra. She can just go. And I think that is something that a lot of people who were fans of hers have been looking for a long time. And so possibly we'll have to see.